Good evening and welcome to Chop House Chatter. I'm Jackson.
And I'm Thomas, and welcome to a fun episode.
Yeah, sorry we've been gone for a couple weeks. Life happens.
I had to go get married, so that was a lot of fun. I was actually out in Vegas, and turns out this week while I was in Vegas, I noticed that it was official. The Oakland A's are going to Las Vegas. They are going to build a 35,000 person stadium right off the strip, and that stadium will be ready for gameplay in 2027. So, still got some baseball news even during my wedding week.
Yeah, but before that, I was out in California. For those of you that follow Top Fan, I saw Bill out in San Diego. I caught the Braves Padres opener on that Monday. But yeah, we're back and we're excited to talk Braves baseball tonight.
Yes, we are. What we got first, Jackson?
So we're gonna do a little quick buy or sell.
Mhm.
We're like what 24, 25 games into the season. So
Yep.
we're gonna buy or sell some hot topics. So do you, I'll ask you first, buy or sell, should Sam Hilliard be the everyday left fielder for the Atlanta Braves?
Going by this past week, I'm going to go with yes for everyday left fielder. And occasionally, maybe a third of the time, platoon him with maybe a Rosario, but he needs to be the majority left fielder out there every single day because he has lit it up this week, and I've loved every single second of it.
Well, I agree. If for those of you who know what baseball savant is, you can look at all of his fancy stats and how hard he hits the ball, how fast he runs. Sam Hilliard is a pretty good player. He plays really good defense, which is my favorite part about him. Everything with the bat's kind of a plus. So
Mm-hmm.
it's really great to see him contributing and kind of giving the bottom of the order at least a little bit of sting because it's been rough going for the bottom third to start
It
this
definitely has been, which is very different from how the Braves have been playing in recent years, where the bottom of our lineup is usually what fuels the top of the lineup and gets us going.
year. Yeah, so Sam Hilliard's been great. He hasn't seen a lot of time against lefties. I think we should give him a shot. But
All right, moving on to the next question. What has the bullpen been doing? Because that Houston series, at least two of those games we should have had. What's been going on?
well that was rough. And I mean, I guess I'm gonna sell the notion that the Braves need more bullpen help. Colin McHugh came back last night, and
Mm-hmm.
Raisel Iglesias should be back within the week. And once those two are there, I think the bullpen's going to stabilize. It's really different pitching the seventh
Mm-hmm.
inning rather than the eighth inning when you have to slide guys back an inning to
Yep.
pitching. It's the bullpen's all mental, and some of the AJ Minter's a great pitcher. I love AJ, but he's not closer material sometimes.
He's a perfect setup guy to me.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the stuff to be a setup guy. He's really good in setup situations. Just as a closer, it's not even necessarily his pitch selection. I don't know what it is. If it's just
Mm-hmm.
all in his head, he just tends to throw too many good strikes.
Got
It's not that he's
got
not
it.
throwing strikes; he throws too many good strikes, and they knock him around a bit. But I think the Braves bullpen should be fine. The starting rotation's been fantastic, so that's really kind of helped in the early season here with the struggles of the bullpen.
All right. What we got next?
So this is a hot debate. If you guys ever dive into the comments on the starting lineups on Instagram or on Facebook for the Braves every day, a lot of people are giving Matt Olson stink for leading the league in strikeouts. He's striking out a 34% clip, which
Mm-hmm.
obviously is not great. But do you buy the notion that Matt Olson is not a good hitter because he strikes out so much?
I am selling that because he's still doing what he's supposed to do. He's batting 261 right now, 20 RBIs already, 6 home runs. He's doing his job. Yes, I would like for these strikeouts to go down just a little bit, or maybe a lot with him leading the league. But I think he's okay. It's still the first what is oh yeah, we're still in the first month of the season. I don't think it's time to overreact right now.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that's jumped out to me is he struck out 18 times in 39 plate appearances against left-handers, which obviously isn't great, but that's
Mm-hmm.
also way above his career average. So even if he can bring that down a little bit, he's still getting on base at a 333 against lefties, which is just all he needs to do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm right there with you. I sell the notion that Matt Olson is a bad hitter because he strikes out.
Okay. So let's slide over to the rotation. Should Michael Soroka. I'm going to make sure we say that correctly. It's not Mike anymore. Should Michael Soroka get the 5th spot in the rotation if everything works out with his health?
I'm a big Michael Soroka fan, so I'm going to buy. I don't know how you feel. Bryce Elder has obviously been brilliant filling in for spots of last year. He's been great this year. He's had a good start against the Cardinals and a really good start against Houston last time out. And he's definitely earned his spot, but I think Soroka is definitely, when healthy, if he's even three-quarters of the pitcher he was, I definitely think his ceiling is a lot higher than Bryce Elder's ceiling, weirdly enough. So I'm going to buy into the notion that Michael Soroka, when healthy, especially since I don't know if you saw today, the team is skipping his start today in AAA to limit his innings because they want him to pitch in October. That's what they said.
Got it.
I'm all in. I'm buying on that.
So what does the starting rotation look like to you? Like, perfect world, nobody's hurt. We have the perfect, ideal starting rotation for the Braves right now. What does it look like?
You got Fried, Strider, Wright, Morton, and then you put Soroka in that 5th spot just to kind of, for right now, to keep some of the pressure off, the expectation off. But I definitely think he could slide up to 4th by the end of the year if he's pitching well enough.
I like every bit of that, but I'm rolling with the 6-man rotation just for how Bryce Elder's doing. He's pitching entirely too well, at least to me, to send him back down to AAA, or even if you want to move him into the bullpen, he has the hot hand right now. So I want to keep him up with a big team.
Yeah, I mean, if we were getting real spicy, I don't know how this would work out, but you could slide Charlie Morton to a multi-inning relief because that man
I'd be perfectly okay with that.
Throws gas and has a wicked breaking ball. So
yeah,
I mean, it could be either way. 6-man rotation, slide Charlie into a multi-inning relief role. We might see that come playoff time, but I think the Braves are really, really kind of set in that starting pitching category.
Gotcha.
All right. Here's the other hot topic from Twitter and Instagram and all the social medias. Should the Braves just cut Marcell Ozuna now?
So if anyone has not been paying attention to any kind of social media, they have been dogging Marcell Ozuna. They have made so many memes about his batting average not even being considered intoxicated in natural society. He's batting 073. I don't think this man sees May. I think he gets cut before May 1st because he has been atrocious and he's taking up a roster spot of somebody that could potentially be helping the team. So I say with all these new players, not new players, but all of these starting players coming back from injury, I think that is how we're going to segue into getting rid of Marcell Ozuna. When we get a Michael Harris back, when we get a Iglesias back, when we get a Travis d'Arnaud back, those are too many headhunter players that we want in our lineup, that we don't want this whole of Marcell Ozuna almost being a guaranteed out every single time he comes to the plate. And don't even get me started on his defense. Like, that's crazy there.
Yeah, the last time he got a hit, it was when I was at the Braves game in San Diego last Monday. And there he was 4 for 41. He's had like 14 at bats since then.
Yeah.
and
I don't think he's got a hit since then.
He's still got 4 hits. So, yeah, I agree with all that. I think Marcel's time, he's on borrowed time. He's only there because people are hurt.
All right, last buy or sell question. Are you buying or selling the Braves being the team to beat in the NL, even though they've been struggling against the Astros and the Padres, their first real test of the season?
I thought the Braves played a lot better in the second series against the Padres. They almost swept them. They lost 1-0 in the last game. And like you said earlier, they could have won 2 of those games against Houston. I'm going to buy into the notion that the Braves are still the team to beat in the National League. The Dodgers don't look impressive at all. The Mets look kind of average. They look like the Mets. I don't see any team that looks, jaw dropping off the go that, on paper and on the eye test that is better than Atlanta.
Got it.
I may sound like a homer, but hey.
So you brought up the Mets. We do have a very important series coming up this weekend in New York playing against the Mets. How do you think we're going to do? What's your outlook on this series?
I think the Braves are going to do really well. I think, they're getting their key guys back. I heard Orlando Arcia is going to start a rehab assignment this weekend or something crazy like that. But they'll have McHugh back. Travis might be back for the Mets series, so that's something to keep an eye on. Michael Harris might be back as well, which might be an even bigger boost because, like we said, the bottom of that lineups looked really bad.
He
You know, if
started
he
his
gets,
rehab assignment on Wednesday this week. Didn't he? The
yeah,
26th?
yeah, tonight. So
Yeah, tonight. Yeah.
he could be back in time for the Mets series.
Mhm.
So it'll be interesting to see. I'm not sure if Max Scherzer's suspension goes through the Braves series. I can't do math. I don't know how many games they're going to play.
And that's
Even
one thing I do want to hit on. I don't necessarily like how they do suspensions when it comes to pitchers because they already don't play maybe once every 5 days. So if he has a 10-game suspension, that's just missing 1 or 2 starts, isn't it?
yeah, I mean, but the offense was, a 1-2 game suspension, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
They catch you with, sticky stuff or putting rosin where you're not supposed to be putting rosin. It's all 1-2 game suspension. I understand why they don't just give him like a 5-game suspension.
Yep.
Because then, you go, I'm going to start Max Scherzer every game for 5 games, just clear the suspension off. But, even if the Mets do pitch Mad Max, I think the Braves will be healthy enough. And I think they'll be ready to go. They're teeing off on the Marlins.
Mm-hmm.
I expect him to tee off again tonight, even though Sandy Alcantara's pitching. He's been struggling, especially to locate that changeup.
Yeah.
If the fastball's all he's got, the Braves are going to absolutely shred him. So I think Atlanta's in a really good spot to kind of make a statement this weekend after, getting swept by the Astros this last weekend. And, I'm really optimistic.
So looking at our splits right now, we are 10-2 on the road right now. 3-game series coming up in New York. What will our record on as far as away series? What will our record be after Sunday's game?
Are they playing in New York? That series?
I believe they are playing in New York. Let me double check that really quick, though.
Yeah, I thought they might be at home again.
No, they have 4 games at home against the 4 games at home against the Marlins. No, they are in New York starting the 28th, 29th, and 30th. Oh, and the 1st as well. 4-game series against New York.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, we got 4 games. We're currently 10-2. Where do you put us?
I'd say 13-3.
Okay.
Take 3 out of 4. I think, the Mets' best shot is the game that Max Scherzer starts. They're really shorthanded in the rotation.
Yeah.
And their lineup's really top heavy. And with how the Brave starters have been throwing, it's going to be hard. I don't know if you watched part of the game yesterday. The Marlins had the infield in the first inning. So that kind of tells you how well the Braves have been pitching. They can't afford to give up a run against this team and get behind.
Got it. All right. So that is everything we have on the list. You got any last questions for me, Jackson?
I do not, but it was nice hopping on and chat with you. And for those of you listening, we're gonna get some more stuff coming out soon.
Got it. Yes, we're starting to get back on rotation now.
Yeah, thanks for bearing with us, and chop on.
Chop on.